Between the Sannyasin and the Householder by Swami Vivekananda. The men of the world should have no voice in the affairs of the sannyasins. The sannyasin should have nothing to do with the rich. His duty is with the poor. He should treat the poor with loving care and serve them joyfully with all his might. To pay respects to the rich and hang on them for support has been the bane of all the sannyasin communities of our country. A true sannyasin should scrupulously avoid that. Such conduct becomes a public woman rather than one who professes to have renounced the world. How should a man immersed in Kam, Kanchana, lust and greed become a devotee of one whose central ideal is the renunciation of Kama Kanchana? Sri Ramakrishna wept and prayed to the Divine Mother to send him such a one to talk with as would not have in him the slightest tinge of Kama Kanchana, for he would say, my lips burn when I talk with the worldly minded. He also used to say that he could not even bear the touch of the worldly minded and the impure. That king of sannyasins, Sri Ramakrishna, can never be preached by men of the world. The latter can never be perfectly sincere, for he cannot but have some selfish motives to serve. If Bhagwan God incarnates himself as a householder, I can never believe him to be sincere. When a householder takes the position of the leader of a religious sect, he begins to serve his own interest in the name of principle, hiding the former in the garb of the latter, and the result is the sect becomes rotten to the core. All religious movements headed by householders have shared the same fate. Without renunciation, religion can never stand. Here Swamiji was asked, what are we sannyasins to understand by renunciation of Kanchana wealth? He answered as follows: with a view to certain ends, we have to adopt certain means. These means vary according to the conditions of time, place, individual, etc., but the end always remains unaltered. In the case of the sannyasins, the end is a liberation of the self and doing good to humanity. Atmano mokshart jagdvitai cha, and of the ways to attain it, the renunciation of Kama Kanchana is the most important. Remember, renunciation consists in the total absence of all selfish motives and not in mere abstinence from external contact, such as avoiding to touch one's money kept with another, but at the same time enjoying all its benefits. Would that be renunciation for accomplishing the two above mentioned ends? The begging excursion would be a great help to a sannyasin at a time when the householders strictly obeyed the injunctions of Vanda, of Manu and other lawgivers by setting apart every day a portion of their meal for ecstatic guests. Nowadays, things have changed considerably, especially as in Bengal, where no Madhukari system prevails. Here, it would be mere waste of energy to try to live on Madhukari, and you would profit nothing by it. The injunction of Bhiksha, begging, is a means to serve the above two ends, which will not be served by that way now. It doesn't therefore go against the principle of renunciation. Under such circumstances, if a sannyasin provides for mere necessaries of life and devotes all his energy to the accomplishment of his ends for which he took sannyasa. Attaching too much importance ignorantly to the means brings confusions. The end should never be lost sight of. Hari Om Tat Sat.